My fellow Amazonians, all now please day. Dr. Choi was speaking. I decided that I was going to communicate regularly with all of you so that we are all on the same page. I know you are faced out there with a barrage of noise from the biggest disgrace and noise makers in the Amazonian struggle. For 7 years, they have used free internet, free WhatsApp to make a lot of noise. And that has come to an end. Their social media hypes cost the lives of so many people. They were so bent on destroying revolutionary practices that they were ready to do everything, including calling for the killing of soldiers, which happened. We have never reacted because we know these acts are acts of desperation designed to weaken our resolve, to project the power of the enemy, and to continuously perpetuate and propagate the false premise that Amazonians are not united. A few individuals who've caused chaos from Fako to Libialem to Momo, even in Mezam, cannot show to you people anything they have done. Not to our children whom they asked to boycott schools, not to our people whom they asked to rise up in resistance, not even in building institutions and organizations that are emblematic, that we can look up to with pride, or showing the kind of impeccable leadership that is required in times like this, especially against an unblinking and unwavering enemy. Every policy we have proposed, we have advanced, they have attacked even before they have studied those policies. They have never cared on the implications of their outrage, of their continuous tantrums. They don't have a measure of what it has on the morale of our people. They lack the discipline required in a struggle as tumultuous as ours. They think because they have free internet, they can scream and shout. My fellow Amazonians, you people are suffering. Even some of them screaming, hiding here in exile, are suffering. We know it because we also live it. Our struggle is to take us out of this suffering. All of us, not only those on ground zero, those who are IDPs, those who are refugees, those who are in jail. It is our collective rejection of colonialism that made us to take arms in defense of our sovereignty and in undermining the legitimacy of the occupier. Our struggle cannot be reduced to armed resistance. That is myopic, that will be unprecedented, because all other struggles have combined armed resistance with civil actions, actions that undermine the authority of an occupying power and delegitimize its rule. Struggles of liberation take place in the land of the people who want to be liberated. The primary cost rests on the shoulders of those who want to be liberated, because the struggle is fought in your land. That is why we institute policies also to make sure that we can impose a cost on the external enemy through boycotts, through economic sabotage, making sure we divert money that they can use in development, like in schools, in health, in other services, to invest it in their own survival, in ensuring the occupation. It is a complex struggle that requires deep thoughts and requires courage. There are decisions you make and you know it will hurt your people. But like the treatment of cancer, you have to apply those decisions, knowing fully well that the hurt will be temporal. There are so many other decisions we have shelved aside because we've calculated the consequences far greater than the opportunities. The most fundamental decision we have made is taking up arms. It is consequential. Once you cross that red line, there is no other decision far bigger than committing your people to an armed resistance. All what you have to do is to make sure you give them what they require to fight, to stay alive, and to be free. For 7 years, a group of inconsequential people have risen in every block using free internet to undermine the integrity of our struggle, to attack the reputation of individuals, to cause infighting, to cause the death of our people. They themselves are not disciplined enough to sit back for 1 second and ask themselves, are we Puritans? They have never held themselves accountable. They have always tried to judge others. They've never asked themselves if the actions they took in Fako have strengthened Fako, if the actions they took in Lebialem have strengthened Lebialem, if the monies they collected from CDC to undermine economic sabotage has reduced the intake of funds in La Republic Treasury. They've never asked themselves that the strategy of attacking forces and stopping them from moving from one block to the other has strengthened our resolve. They've never asked themselves if the infighting they've caused in fighters that has caused the death of thousands of fighters has moved us forward. They've never held themselves up to higher standards. They are determined to wreck our struggle. They are determined to undermine initiatives that have virtually no effect on us. My fellow people, we are suffering, and this suffering has not been caused by the resistance. We have to face facts. We have to stand up and speak the truth. Who is responsible for the pain in Amazonia? Who is responsible for the burning downs of thousands of villages? Who is responsible for keeping thousands of our citizens in perpetuity in the dungeons? Who is responsible for moving across the border and kidnapping our people and bringing them back? Who has attacked refugee camps in Biafra and Nigeria? Who has burned down markets? Who killed Mama Api? Who decapitated Samsoya? Who caused the Pinyin massacre? Who murdered children in Gabo on Valentine's Day? Who has caused the death of more than 40,000 of our people? These are hard questions we have to answer with facts. From the beginning of this struggle, Amazonians have paid taxes through donations, providing food. We have also seen the development of the war economy. where some commanders have used the struggle to amass wealth for themselves. We instituted a means of harmonizing the different forms of donations and commitments that our people make on ground zero by instituting a flat rate tax that will benefit our community schools, that will benefit our soldiers across the board. So we can use it as a form of accountability, eliminate extortion, unnecessary roadblocks, harassment at burial sites. We have seen the effect of people moving back into our cities, contributing in our local economies, paying their taxes and brandishing their receipts in exchange for their security and for peace, strengthening our forces also. They attacked it. The other one who went and hired a lobby, he has never come back to tell you that he was fired by the same lobby because he could not pay. Because he was more interested in using the lobby for propaganda than in ensuring his fake referendum that he was campaigning for. Zero accountability. We instituted a ban on SMAC number plate, knowing fully well we are in West Africa, not Central Africa. We used it to challenge the authority of the enemy, to bestow power to our forces, to hand over self-governance to our people. They scream at the top of their voices. How did the ban on SMAC number plate affect our people? They have seen people driving with SMAC number plate. Tell me, how much does yellow color give to our people? How much does a color give to our people? How does changing color of vehicles affect our people? They say it put our people at risk. What doesn't put our people at risk? What is the most consequential thing that put our people at risk? Is it carrying rifles and defending our land and being shot, or changing the color of your taxi? If you change it, they harass you, you defy them. Did Rosa Parks not sit move in the front of the bus and refuse to go behind? Did Martin Luther King not give his life for fighting for racial equality? Was Malcolm X not murdered? Did Mandela not spend 27 years in jail and refuse at the 18 to renounce violence in exchange for the maintenance of the apartheid system? Did Thomas Sankara not die? Has General Ivo not given up his life? Has General Ifang not died? No pity. Field Marshal and all of these people, what greater price can you pay than laying your life for the interest of a people? If you worship Jesus who died on the cross, why not the men and women wielding rifles in your name? They want to lecture us on rules. They want to threaten us. What do these people have, my people? Tell them to show us. I have a force of more than 1,000 men. I'm responsible for that force. No sleep. How they affect when they are wounded, when they are treated. How you build collaboration between those forces. Provide resources for them to be armed. Making sure the widows are taken care of. Making sure the orphans are taken care of. Tell me what they do for the people they claim. Do they know the name of any fallen soldier's wife? They have nothing to offer and they cannot threaten anybody. I can whoop them in 1 second. They can't. Take away the internet from them and they're all gone. Don't fear them. You've risen up against better tyrants than these noisemakers on social media. They can't control their villages. They can't control their household. When you see all of these screaming gangsters, they don't have the balls and the guts to stand up for anything. Nothing. They want to threaten war. The decision taken by the Mezam forces is final. And I will extend that decision all over Amazonia. Wait for my speech on the 30th. We will escalate. La République will know that war has started. They will know that war has started. You can't keep 3,000 people in jail in conditions of squalor While people are going around their normal activities here in Europe and the United States, they don't think for one moment, what can we do to escalate? They say they want to provide artillery. Oh, Amazonia. I can assure you that these people, they don't even have the monies to eat. All of these people screaming. We know them. We know them. They don't have the monies to eat. They cannot buy one bullet. They can't feed themselves. They are hoping that this noise they make, La République will divert small money through networks to come and give them. After 2 weeks, they will shut up. They moved from one project to the other. They said we were not going to shut down the Trans-African Highway. Did they stop it? Did they stop it? They did not. Did they stop liberation tax? We've raised more than 100 million. Have they stopped the non-enforcement of number plates? You shall measure people by their previous record, not by noise. You can pack all of these people in one room. They cannot cross a line that I draw. To the extent that all of this noise they are making and going ahead. My people, escalate the war. Rise up and drive La République out. You have the powers. Stand up like a people with backbone. Stop experimenting on different strategies. Full-scale war against an enemy that is keeping your children in jail. Full-scale attack on the legitimacy of the enemy that has hijacked your future. Full-scale attack on everything that smells, resembles, looks like La République in your land. You are amber. You are strong. You are bold. Don't be turned into crabs by weaver birds. They don't have backbone. They will make this noise, go and take a cup of tea and drink. They can't buy one bullet. They can't buy one gun. Let them show you which brigade they have. I can show you a brigade in Mezam, not one, not two. I can show you in Momo, not one, not two. I can show you in Fako. What do you measure a people with, my people? To the extent you have the time to listen to these people. Nothing they have established has stayed, has worked. They have 5 presidents, 5 governments. We will charge them with crimes against humanity. They are talking this nonsense. They are not prepared to die. I carried guns when I was 20. They are sitting and hiding here. They are threatening people. Quick for land of Onomon. Everybody, if majority of the taxis are owned by you in the diaspora, change the color. I have told the forces to downgrade enforcement. Don't burn taxis. The gentleman whose taxi was burnt, who is a handicap, I had planned to compensate him. I heard you people have launched an attempt to give him money. You can compensate him. Any person that is walking on 2 feet, both hands, respect the law. Change the color of your taxi. If you don't, after 15th of July, you will know whether it is the SDO who gives decision in Mezam or are the Ambazonian forces and Dr. Chuayaba.